So this is what we call a gate. It's where half the water goes to one neighbor, and then the other half comes down, and it's split between me and a second neighbor. And the neighbor who has that large section of water over there, his water runs in that ditch all the way to the end of the property, and then he flood irrigates over there. And I thought, if he can move his water across this property line here, through the willows and up over there, why can't I? And so I looked at pricing, and it was going to be anywhere from $300 to $800 to buy a proper irrigation pipe to transport the water across this ditch, my property here, because it goes downhill. So I couldn't just do an open ditch because you can't make water run uphill. And so over spring break, Jade and I went to the salvage yard, and I looked at all kinds of used metal piping and plastic and whatever, and we found a pile of aluminum downspout. And they were 10-foot sticks and extremely lightweight. And so for about $65, I was able to get 35 pieces to cover the 350 feet from here to that far corner of my property over there. And so I glued up 10-foot sticks, and I dug a ditch that's now overgrown but still moving water right here. And I have this piece of black pipe in there. And so starting at that splitter gate that I showed you, half my water now goes through this black pipe, and then through this tall grass over here. It was short when I put this all together and easy to see. So that black pipe spills it into a little open ditch here. And this is the first piece of 350 feet, 35 sticks of 10-foot aluminum downspout. Repurposed from the salvage yard. And so, in May, I glued every 10 feet. I glued these sticks together. And there's a white piece. I glued them and I duct taped them. Some were white, some were brown, some were green, some were black. And here we go for a long walk, 320 some feet. Okay? The problem being, it's mostly downhill, but it goes to a low spot, and then we had to move it back uphill, as it were. So, all along in this tall grass, here's some more. It's green and brown. Aluminum downspout. There it is. Okay, you see that? Alright. I'm not going to make you watch as I walk along the grass and through the willows. I'm going to pause and pick it back up again on the other side. So, here we are in the low area. And there's my 10-foot sticks. Every 10 feet there's a joint, which means every 10 feet there's a leak. Which kind of makes it like self-irrigating this whole side, which runs downhill that way. And so this is as green as can be, and we only got rain for the first time this week. You can hear water pouring out of this one here. This is the lowest spot. That's a big leak, and I'm not too happy about it. But keep going this way. So all along here, this is green and irrigated because of the leaks every 10 feet. that just ooze out and irrigate this whole thing. Almost there. Here, it spills out into an open ditch, and it starts its way. We're now at the top of my property. And we started up on the other side of those pine trees. Okay, so I got water uphill, as it were. So it moves along. I had to put it in another one of those because there was an anthill and it was totally soaking into the ground there, and flooding somewhere else where I really didn't want it. But if you look in there, there's water pouring out. And now we're at the top of a hill, and so what happens is, this is a very, very shallow ditch, and so a little bit of water is always sliding off down this hill all the way along this ditch. And it's flood irrigating and making this pasture as green as it can be, and the grass is like almost waist high on me. And so we keep following, you can see it there, you keep following the ditch. The apple tree right there is about the halfway point, so what I'll do is I'll walk along, pause this, walk to the apple tree, and then show you the rest. Okay, we're here under the apple tree. And at this point, I split it into two major streams so that it'll irrigate here, and then the other one going all the way to the end. The cool thing is, this is all gravity. I'm not using the electricity. I'm not using the water out of my pond. I'm not pumping it back uphill. This is all just coming straight out of the ditch at the corner. And so this one runs out and is soaking that hill. And then this one made it yet another 350 feet from that corner down to this corner. And it turns and goes downhill. And there's a little feed there. But my whole property now on this back hill is getting saturated. You can maybe hear the squishiness of the ground. But this area has been completely dry for years without a sprinkler, and even then has been extremely difficult to get water to with the sprinklers. And now I have standing water all the way down here. There's the apple tree. Up there's my back corner. And way over here by those, up at the corner, that's where the water started in my repurposed aluminum downspout. And so basically, here's my marker, because this is where I can see standing water on the surface. But now, it's down to here. It's almost down back to the ditch, which is astonishing. To me, this is a huge accomplishment. That's 750 feet of gravity and engineering to get water from up there by the distant pine trees in the corner, all the way to there in the pipe, and then all the way to this corner, and then down this hill, which is now getting nice and green, and it's never been before. And the cool thing is, my overflow water that kind of drains down the middle here is helping to irrigate my neighbors, because it's just flowing right through and making all that wet spot on theirs. And so I'm really, really proud of this. I had a feeling it could be done, and I accomplished it. Water started flowing here towards the end of May, and I had the project completed when it started, basically. But it's taken until now, end of June, to get water to that stake over there. Because the ground was so parched and dry, and there was leaks in my system, you know. But I've done it, and my pasture is getting green. That's the last area to get water. It's had it for the past couple days, and it's starting to green up. But now, 24 hours a day, it will be getting that flow of water, and the overflow will go next door. Everybody wins. No electricity. Full pond. So I can use my pond to irrigate other parts of my property that I can't use gravity on. To get water in my hoses for my flowers and stuff. But all that water on the top of the hill in the pond is still completely full. And that water's going to keep running. No electricity. The pond will stay full until I want to water my flowers or the grass close to the house on this side. But wow, it's a big deal. At least out here in irrigation land it is.